What's good with y'all, family? We're back. As you can see, we've upgraded the equipment. You know, this is $600 worth of equipment. We're back. I know. Y'all told me the mic was tripping. The vid was a little, you know what I'm saying? We used some tweaks. But I'm not going to lie to y'all. I did record that video over the summer. I did not edit that video until like a week ago. I ain't going to front. I'm slacking. That's on me. But we're going to get it rolling. We're going to drop these videos. Roll to 1 million subscribers before the year is over with. We got to make it to Screaming University. Part 2. Kyrie Irving. We got to 1v1 Kyrie. We got to learn from Kyrie. We got to just make YouTube great again. We got to bring greatness back to, you know what I'm saying, back to media, back to content. They've been telling me they needed me. I've been bullshitting. I ain't gonna lie. But we here now. So come close. Let me show you the fit. As you can see, we got 1 Johnny Dane. He made this with high-tech lasers. Okay? High-tech lasers. Okay? You see we got the calm shirt, right? Calm shirt. Some slight. Get the back. Calm shirt. Some slight. Then we got cool little jorts. We go jorts. Don't mind my legs. Don't mind them. Then on the feet we go. This is 1 of 1. I don't even know what it's called. That's how 1 of 1 it is. My socks, it was like 80 a piece. For the left sock, it was 80. For the right sock, it was 80. Telling you. Then for this watch I got on, this high-tech watch, this watch tells me all of the fuck niggas that's in the vicinity. All of them. So this is high-tech gear. I'm telling you. The last video, we took notes. We seen what we had to work on. It's a calm little vid today. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk about some real life shit. We're going to talk about some real life shit, okay? We're not just going to be over here fucking off. We're not just going to be on here just making noise and jumping around. We're going to be over here talking about some real deal stuff. And today I'm going to break it down. Break down life. How you plan your life. My life different, your life different, my life. But I'm telling you, all in all, we got to have a plan. I got to have a plan. You got to have a plan. We the fam. You my fam. I know you my fam. Yeah, I know you my fam. So, you know, you got to stick together. We got to stick together because we all we got, you know. I need y'all to like, comment, subscribe, you know. You got to get this ball rolling, you know. Up and coming. This is greatness right here, you know. Pour into me and I'll pour into y'all. But let's get to it. All right. So, like I said, we're talking about planning life here, okay? And the first thing you got to do when it comes to life, we're making a lot of money. Folks, they blowing a lot of money. They're doing a lot of things. You might be having fun. But we got to start budgeting, man. You got to start budgeting. And when it comes to this budgeting thing, you got to set things and allocate things properly, you know, and appropriately. If you're going to go out, put that money to the side for that hangout. If you're going to go out to that party, shit. If you know you're going to be buying a couple, whatever it may be, put your money to the side for that. These are things you got to account for. Because you can't just be making money just to blow it. Can't do that. No more eating out, spamming fast food, Uber Eats, DoorDash. We can't do that, man. Can't do that. If we're trying to be great, trying to be smart, we got a budget. And see this book right here? This is what you got to cop. I'm telling you. Cop you a book. Something that could resonate with you. Budgeting 101 is my book. I'm not saying you got to buy it. I'm not saying look into it. What I would say is, when it comes to planning our life, budgeting and copying a book that will really help you better understand what that means for you. So, first step is budgeting. Look into it. All right. Now, the second thing we got to talk about is our mindset with money. All right. Now, somebody's probably thinking, what's the nigga talking about? Mindset with money. How we think about money. How do we think about the utilization of money? How do we think about what we're going to do with money? Now, if you're one of those people that just get money to blow money, not going to lie, we got to change that. You're not going to get very far doing that. You're one of those people that utilizes money in ways you think benefits you, but inadvertently is costing you. You got to change that as well. You have to look at your finances, your money, as an extension of you. You can only operate within however amount you allow yourself to operate. When you make a whole bunch of money, let's say you make 300, that doesn't mean blow the whole 300. Now, I'm not saying give yourself $5 and try to rock out for the week. I don't know who's doing that. Somebody's probably doing that. Hey, but you do have to be strategic with your money. Be strategic with how you want it to move, how you want to utilize it. If you want it to work for you, if you want to buy things to help you make more money, it's all about how you do it. But gone are the days of buying fast food, spending on Uber Eats, DoorDash. Can't do that one. If you're doing all that, take your ass to the store. I'm not gonna lie. If you're blowing all your money on clothes, I hope you're wearing all of them. If you're blowing it on shoes, you only got like 2 feet. Like, you have 2 feet. I don't know if you're wearing all those shoes, especially. That's a lot. But these are things you have to look at. You can't be scared of money. This book right here, Broke Millennial, I would recommend people read this book. Now, I know the first book I said don't get it, but this book right here, I would recommend getting it. You know, it helps you break down your understanding of money, even if you already done put yourself in a hole and just been off the deep end, you know, doing anything crazy. This book right here, I recommend getting it. You got to look at it from a perspective of it's you and how you want to utilize it. Don't be scared of your finances, because ultimately, I don't even know. You know, it's hard to explain. It's a lot of nuances, but you got to know what you're dealing with when it comes to money, especially when you're dealing with a lot of money. Because if you're dealing with a lot of money and you're not really making no changes, you probably are really bad with money. If you're dealing with money and you're just blowing it to blow it, hey, rock out. But Broke Millennial, I would look into buying this book if I was anybody trying to have a better understanding of money. If I'm fearful of money, if I have a lot of money but don't know what to do with a lot of money, or if I have myself in a certain cycle of just constantly spending when I know I could be, you know, breaking it down and, you know, budgeting. Also helps you really think on how you could be systematic with your approach to money. And yeah, I think overall it will really help any person that's really just now looking at what they actually do with their money. I know a lot of people kind of like just do what they do. They don't really think about it. But if somebody's now looking at how much they spend, what they spend on, damn, I'm blowing all this money going out, doing woo. I would recommend Broke Millennial. Okay, after breaking down the books that I would suggest read, and the reads that I think would help somebody's mindset to change when it comes to money, I would say the next big thing you'd have to do is plan. Yes, we could talk about it all day, and we could talk about the things and steps we have to do, but let's plan it out. Okay, what does that look like in a lifetime? What does that look like for a week-to-week basis, day-to-day? You know what I mean? Sometimes you can start off small. What does it look like today? How much am I going to spend today? You know, and then you can scale upward week to week, month to month, to the point where you get so good that you can break down your whole year's expenses. Of course, you have to look at it from factoring what you can factor in. You are going to have, you know, some family emergencies. You are going to have, you know, something that has to come up. You automatically, you know what I'm saying, just have to pay for it. Or you might even have a day where you broke, you know, your rule of how much you're going to spend. You went a little bit over, or you splurged at, you know, birthdays, holidays, whatever that may be. But if you stick along a blueprint of how you're going to go about it, from, like I said, month to month, day to day, week to week, whatever your scale may be, if you really stick to that, then it's going to instill something in you to be disciplined to kind of, all right, let me stay in line with that. Let me be in control of this. So I won't be wondering, okay, how much did I spend? And then I find out, I was like, dang, I already spent all that. So the next big thing would have to be planning. All right. So now that we've talked about all the steps leading up to it, now the last thing you have to do is execute. And I know that seems easy to say, to be like, all right, go ahead and do it. But sometimes we can get in our heads before we even go ahead and apply ourselves to even trying. Now, you could say, okay, I broke down all my expenses, I broke down my money, I did all this. Now, you know what I'm saying, it should be easy to make that switch. But no, when you're caught in certain habits that you do throughout your day-to-day, it's gonna be hard. You're gonna have slip-ups. You're gonna be like, all right, today I'm not gonna spend X amount of money. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go out and do all this. And then you do. You know what I'm saying? You might for a week say, oh, okay, I'm not going to do this for this week. I'm going to allocate this to the side and such. And you might break that. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have those moments where you don't stick to the plan, where you don't stick to your blueprint at the start. But if you continuously try every day to just, all right, I'm going to do this. And then you might see, all right, for that day, you did do that. Also acknowledge your attempts, to be proud of yourself, to be like, okay, I actually tried. You know what I mean? Like, I actually try to, not spend X amount of money, try not to go out and this, that, and the third. It's all about how you do it, and it's not about worried about the outcome. The outcome isn't going to be perfect off rip. You're not just going to jump into it and immediately sit up here and switch your lifestyle around if you're caught up in a certain type of lifestyle, if you're caught up in a certain type of habits. But if you every day just try to put the best foot forward and make the attempt, it's going to change. And over time, you'll see that change. So really executing and really putting forth effort. We could talk about it all day. We could talk about all the plans. We could plan up to a T, but you have to try and be fine with plans changing. Be fine with certain things that you couldn't account for happening, certain variables that you couldn't put into your blueprint, what you could see coming into play. Oh, dang, I didn't know I was going to have this random expense come out of nowhere. That's what happens. But no, if you stick closely to what you're trying to stick closely to, you will see a change ultimately. So it's really changing the mindset and really applying yourself and understanding that money isn't something that just burns. It's a tool. Use it and really applying yourself to really letting it elevate you and your lifestyle. So that's all I can really say. And yeah. All right. So in conclusion, these are just some things that I would implement in my lifestyle if I was, talking to a younger sibling or implementing even now. I think these are some things that could really resonate and kind of like still holds true to today. Really trying to get your understanding of money down pat and, just really shifting your mind state to kind of not just look at it as something to just gather and give away, kind of like to gather and utilize to put yourself in the best position. So, yeah, thank you all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, appreciate you, family. So yeah, put it in there.